Alright guys, I'm just going to do a short video. I was rejetting the bike since I went up to Flagstaff last week. Here's the jet kit. These are all key-in jets. I got these off a guy on eBay. It was like 39 bucks for all these, but this is actually way better. Dyno Jet. I had zero luck, but anyway, I had the 55 Pilot in, and then I had the, let me use my pointer. I had the 55 Pilot in, and then I had a 158 main, and that seemed to be the popular jet setup. Looking on the web and videos and stuff, but as you can see, or we'll be able to see shortly, I went from a nice excuse me, I went from a nice kind of brown, not too bad spark plug to this black sooty one. And the black sooty one is actually the iridium plug I had in it that was up in Flagstaff with me yesterday. And this was before. This one I had a few problems on, but not like I had. So I went back the other way. I went and put a 52 Pilot in, and then I'm running the 155 main jet. So, you know, this one came stock with a 50 and a 150. So I'm going to go back the other way. I did put the shim back under the carburetor, the 20,000 shim. This kit came with two 20,000 shims. One of them is right there, if you can see it. So anyway, I did put the 20,000 shim back under the needle, and I'm hoping by going back the other way, it'll help me out a lot. So I have it all cleaned up, you know, just like I said, getting ready to put it back on. I have the, I'm not sure when they stopped and started, I have the older mixture screw, the one where you just, there's supposed to be a tab on here so you can only adjust it. Not even a full turn. And anyway, the previous owner, he'd ground that off. But I could reach in and tune my mixture when I was up in Flagstaff. You know, I had to get in there and stuff, and it was kind of hard. And so while it was apart, I thought I'd do kind of an easier type thing. Let me get these washers off here. But you can only do it if you have this style with the tab that hangs down. If you have the newer style, this is the one that came in my Moose Racing kit, this guy here. If you have this style, you're out of luck. But if you buy the older style, grind that tab off, you can do this. But anyway, so I just had, this is like my $2 air mixture screw remedy. Anyway, I had a piece of fuel line. This is just off of Suzuki or something. Probably off Suzuki since I have more of those. And anyway, I just put it over the top. And I just pushed it down. There we go. And then I just took an Allen bolt. And the reason I used the Allen bolt, for one, it's a little thinner. I did use an Allen bolt where it had a little bit of texture on it. I'm not sure if you see that. And then I just took my little Dremel with the cutting wheel. And I just cut a groove in it, so I could have a reference point. That's the whole. And then I took some of this, I use this quite a bit on stuff, even the front side of guns and stuff. But it's just this dollar store day glow. I mean, you can do any color you want. That's the only one I have. But, and so now I have kind of a reference point. So if I'm turning the mixture, I can go, okay, there's half, one, half, you know, that's the only reason I did it. You know, you can put a notch in it. I just cut a groove in it. So anyway, so what you do is you just put this over the end of the later model XR650 air mixture screw, and then you'll want to make sure and have the spring on it. There's a little metal washer, and then there's a rubber O-ring. The O-ring goes towards the top. The metal washer goes towards the spring. And then I just assemble it like this. That way nothing gets messed up. And I screw it in. And I wasn't sure if this would work, but there's really not much, there we go. There's not much resistance. And the other good thing about this is a lot of people take a screwdriver and bottom them out, you know, to get zero, and then you unscrew it to richen it. But what this allows also is you can only tighten it so much. You're not going to be ruining the seat that's inside the carburetor, which is kind of nice. So Anyway, let's I'll just put this on for my demo. There you go. Oops. It's a good sign. I'm not too familiar with nail polish. So as you can see from here, and I'm going to bend it from way out here, but you can see that, say if it's on the bike, it's like this, I can still turn it. So well, let's bottom it out again. Okay, so we know that's 0, and then you just turn it one full turn, and there's 2. And the reason I put 2 notches on this guy is I can use one for a half. You know, say the top one's a whole turn. If I turn it like that, I've just turned it a half. And so then I'm going to use some carburetor cleaner. Don't use it in the house. I'm a trained professional. And I'm just going to put a little bit on the threads. And what I found with carburetor cleaner, like when I'm doing grips and other kind of stuff like that, it'll soften the rubber just enough, and then it hardens up and kind of vulcanizes itself. And so I'm just going to screw this Allen screw piece in. And I used a longer bolt just for the theory that maybe if it was a longer one, there would be less slippage, if there's any slippage at all. And I'm just using an old bolt. Like I said, old fuel line, old bolt, equals cheap, and I'm all about cheap. All right, there we go. So now we have this bottomed out, and we have this, and we still have our mark here, even though it's a little bit fainter, but you can see it. Let me kind of freshen that up. Let me go powder my nose. Let me go freshen up a little bit, the ladies say. The old joke is, I ain't cared about your nose. All right, there we go. So we're gonna make that a little bit fresher so you can see it. All right, so this is mounted on the bike. I'm out here, I can put this anywhere. I'm just gonna lay it right against the engine cases, doesn't matter. But if I need to adjust it, it's gonna be a counterclockwise to make it richer. Look at that. There's one, whoops, let me go back. There's one turn. And if I want to go the other way, maybe we can see it this way. Look at that. Woohoo! We have perfection. So I know there's kits out there. And like I said, if you have the flush type air mixture screw, it's not going to work. If you go to Honda or get online, buy the old style where you got to grind that tab off, this will work perfect. And like I said, I just cut a groove in it, put 2 yellow, or I'm sorry, yellow, put 2 orange, Day-Glo orange fingernail polish in there, just for reference. And let's put it back to where it was, which will be clockwise. Oops. And we should see the orange piece coming up. There we go. And it's tight, and it's snug, and it's not overly tight. And then I'm going to set this right here. And I'm going to show you that we can do it with just, and also by using a longer bolt, I'm just kind of finding out because I haven't put this together. This is actually a improv type thing. But we can go, there we go. We can go, there we go. So there's back, and then this is going to be off on the side of the bike. We can go, we'll just set it right here. There's 1 turn, and I'm going 2. And there's 2. If I want to turn it back half, I just kind of realize where this is at, and then I'm going to turn it. I have to think here. The pressure's on. And then I just have to turn it clockwise. There we go. Oops, I dropped it. And then there's our half location. So anyway, simple thing to do. You know, on these ones you can reach in. I did have to undo the oil air separator. So it was kind of a pain. But now I'm just going to let this thing kind of lay on the engine case while I'm riding. And then if I need to adjust it, I just get out and do this. And you know, a lot of times you're just adjusting it until you hear the RPM start to go up. So having the line doesn't really make a difference. And the other thing I found, This can be actually quite a challenge, and it can be quite fun to do. So anyway, so that's all. I just thought I'd make a short video before I put this guy on. And yeah, I'll set that back to 2. Whoops, let's go back. All right, so counterclockwise to richen, clockwise to lean. Let's put it all the way back. And then I'm done. I'm going to go assemble that Honda. And the other thing I'm going to do is I have a, there we go, is I have a, let me come over here. I have a new 45-2 sprocket. And I have a Renthal chain gold. Yeah. And I'm going to install this on it. And then I'm going to take it out for a ride. It's a nice day. We're actually having a little bit of a halfway decent weather here. For May, usually it's in the 90s or 100s or something like that. But anyway, I thought I would show you what I was going to do. Here's the original idle speed. But like I said, I'm just going to, you know, this is just going to dangle. This is the way the carburetor sits, and it's just going to dangle on the case like that. Who cares? I mean, that's where it's going to sit. And once I get it on the bike, I can figure out if I need to cut it or lengthen it. Like I said, it's just kind of a improv type of thing. So anyway, so that's where I'm at. I am starting with the, I'm going back. So I went from a 50 to a 52, 50 is stock, and then I went from a 150 main jet to the 155, and 150 is stock. And then I'm still running the shim. So I'm hoping the air, you know, it'll make things good. It'll make things right. And I think some of the problem I had by going with the 55 Pilot and the 158 main was I'm running the stock exhaust. And, you know, a lot of guys who are running the 55 Pilot, the 158 main that I've been rereading about, they have some sort of aftermarket exhaust, and I just have the stock. So I don't know if that's the big difference or what, but anyway, I'm going to put my carburetor parts back in here. But since I'm running the stock exhaust, I do have the smog off, smog pumps off. I'm going to keep the air oil canister on. Now with this, I won't have to remove it to make an adjustment. And let's see, airbox opened up, smog pumps off, and I still have the oil air canister, and I'm running the full stock Honda exhaust system just because I like the quiet. And hopefully I will get rid of this dirty, nasty, sooty plug and go back to this nice brownish. So, but this guy here was running lean from like half to full throttle. So anyway, that's it. So I'm not going to talk all day because I could. And that's it. I'll post this thing tonight, tomorrow. It's my day off, so who knows. But anyway, I hope that helps some guys out. You know, like I said, I know there's air mixture jet screw kits out there and all that. But this one literally cost me an old fuel line and an old bolt and 2 seconds on the grinder. And you know, if some of you guys have nail polish, you know, I'm not one to judge, but and then just some nail polish on there. It could be red, whatever, you know, whatever you want to do. So anyway, that's it. I'm going to sign off. I'm going to install this carburetor, put the chain sprockets on, and I'm going riding. So we'll talk to you later.